all of our lands?
Maybe they're not as bad as we think they are.
In case you forgot, our parents' war is about to become ours. Figure out which side you're on. Wow, you've lost everything. Your father, your tribe, your best friend.
All right, that's a clip from the movie How to Train Your Dragon, which is in theaters right now. Let's go to Richard Crouse, who is standing by. Richard Crouse, host of Last Call with Richard Crouse. So, Richard, welcome back. Let's talk about this one for starters. What'd you think?
Well, this is a mostly live-action remake of the first film. So in 2010, How to Train Your Dragon, big animated film, nominated for Academy Awards, comes to theaters, is a giant hit, and then spawned this whole industry. There were a number of films that followed that, a television show, a video game. They even have an arena show with these big animatronic dragons that fly around. And now the next logical step, I guess, is to follow in the footsteps of Disney, who are remaking a lot of their old animated classics into live-action films, and that's what's happened here. So you get a film that really closely resembles the first film. It's about half an hour longer, which means that you have a deeper relationship between Hiccup, who is the Viking teen who is convinced that the dragons that have been tormenting his little village for hundreds of years aren't that bad, and he has to try and convince his father, the leader of the village, of that. And so you get a little bit more there, a little deeper relationship there. You get more of these big battle scenes, which are pretty impressive as the dragons are flying through the air and that kind of thing. But I found that it kind of slowed down the pacing. I liked the zippier pacing of the original film that you really didn't mess around. There was not a lot of setup to the story. You were plunked down, you were told what was happening, and then they let it rip. And this one, by comparison, feels a bit sluggish. Although I think that if you were a fan of the first one, to see these characters come alive, particularly the dragon Toothless, I think to see him come alive on the big screen would be a draw for people that are fans of the books and the arena show and the video game and movies and everything else. So it's like a 3.5-star out of 5-star movie for me.
If you like the first one, you'll like this.
Yep.
Now, this next movie, I've seen more promos, more ads on TV for this than I've seen for pretty much anything. So Dakota Johnson, Pedro Pascal, and I think Chris Evans is the third in this.
Yep.
It is called Materialists, and she plays a marriage. What does she play? A matchmaker.
A matchmaker.
You've seen this?
Yeah, I have. So
and please tell me it's good because it looks really fun.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know that fun is exactly the word that I would use, though. It looks like a rom-com set in New York City, and it's set certainly against a background of romance and that kind of thing, because you've got Dakota Johnson playing a matchmaker who works in the world of the rich and famous, and she treats them kind of like a commodity. It's all about how much money they have, how tall they are, how much of their own hair they have, all that kind of stuff. And she's very successful at it. She's less successful in her own personal life until she meets Pedro Pascal. He's charming, he's rich, he can give her an unbelievable life, but that whole thing is complicated when her ex-boyfriend, played by Chris Evans, showed up. So she has to kind of choose between the perfect man, at least on paper, and the imperfect guy who she had once had a relationship with. And so it's a romantic comedy, but it goes heavy on the romance, a little lighter on the comedy, and it really is about why we fall in love, what we look for in other people, and once you get past the commodification of these people, looking at them as just walking bank accounts, what else are you looking for? And that's what the movie is all about. And so it's not exactly a rom-com, but it is quite good. And if you like apartment porn, Pedro Pascal has a pretty amazing apartment in this movie.
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure where you're going with that. Yeah, so he's got like a gigantic gazillion-dollar apartment in this.
Yeah.
Did you, at the end of the day, did you really like this or just okay?
I did like it. it. It's not a movie that I would go see over and over again, although my wife is very excited to see it, so she may go more than once.
All right. Called Materialists, and it is out in theaters this weekend. And the last one is The Life of Chuck. What's this about?
Yeah, this won the People's Choice Award at the last Toronto International Film Festival, which is voted on by the public as their favorite film of the festival. And it's based on a Stephen King short novella called The Life of Chuck, and it's presented in kind of an unusual way. It starts at the end, and so we meet a number of characters at near the end of the world. Everything is about to go very, very badly for the planet. California's fallen into the ocean, and the internet stopped working. Everything's falling apart. And then all of a sudden, all these weird billboards start going up all over town that say, thank you, Chuck Krantz, for 39 great years. And no one knows who Chuck Krantz is. End of part one. Part two, we meet Chuck Krantz, played by Tom Hiddleston, as an adult. He's an everyman, he's an accountant, he's kind of a boring guy, except he comes to realize that with very small gestures, you can make a very big impact on other people's lives. Part three, which in a normal movie would be part one, we meet him as a child and then as a teenager, and it all ties together by the time the end credits roll. And what I loved about this movie is that it's very much about mortality. We know how this movie is going to end because we see it in the first half hour. The world is probably going to come to an end. But the point of this movie is to encourage us to live every moment as if it was our last. Live every moment and get as much as you can out of every moment because you don't know what's coming around the corner. And by the time the movie ends, you'll feel better on the way out than you did on the way in. It's called The Life of Chuck. Maybe bring a Kleenex with you and enjoy.
We liked it.
Yeah, I liked it a lot.
All right. The Life of Chuck. The first thing I will tell you when I saw this, I thought, Chuck is like Chucky? No. It's got nothing to do with that horror genre. Yeah, very different. All right. As far as streaming, someone suggested to me, Richard, have you seen this? It's called A Gentleman in Moscow. Have you seen this?
I've seen a couple of episodes of it, and it was with Ewan McGregor, right?
Yeah.
Well, and I liked the two episodes that I saw, but I haven't seen any more than that.
Anything else streaming-wise you're sort of liking these days?
There's a show called, it's a docu-series, a quick one, called Titan, the Ocean Gate Disaster on Netflix. And 2 years ago, right around now, we were talking about that submersible that imploded under the ocean. Well, this is the story of that, and the guy Stockton Rush, who was the founder of the company and ultimately, led a number of people to their doom. And this is told with whistleblowers and with all sorts of people that were there, and it turns out to be a story of ambition and greed, and it is a true crime sort of at its most compelling. It's called Titan, the Ocean Gate Disaster on Netflix.
We had the co-producer on the air, I think, earlier in the week, Canadian, by the way, co-producer on this show. So if you want to check that out, terrific. All right, Richard, thank you so much. Have a great weekend.
You too, Aaron. Thanks.
All right. There you go. Lots to see, including Materialists, if you want to go through. He said it's a rom-com. So for Father's Day, want to take your significant other or not. In the meantime, we'll take a break. Pardon me. We have news. Excuse me. That's what happens when you're battling a cold. We have news coming up in just a sec. Then on the other side of 3:30, it's been a busy week in business, stock markets, all that kind of stuff. Amanda Lang, CTV News Chief Financial Correspondent, will put it all in perspective next.